Welcome, this is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred. I'm really glad you could join me today. We have a long-time viewer. His name is Witcherworks, and he left a comment on one of our recent videos that was titled, How My Lean-To Greenhouse Structure Supports My Whole Food Plant-Based Plant Smart Lifestyle. And so he had commented here, he said, thank you so much for this video. I'm going to show my dad. Hopefully I can get him to take a trip to the holistic holiday at sea. Did you enjoy it? And so I'm going to share my experiences on the holistic holiday at sea. So I have to say I really did enjoy the holistic holiday at sea. My wife and I went both on the cruise, and you know, I don't normally spend this kind of money extravagantly for these type of cruises. Or in fact, this was my first cruise I actually was on my whole life. I was 59 when I went on this one, and really what motivated me was, and this was March of 2015 we went on this cruise, my wife and I, as I said earlier. But really what prompted this was my wife actually saw this on our Facebook on the homepage, the Holistic Holiday at Sea, and she was actually the one that was really excited about wanting to go. And so, but you know, a couple years before that, I was the one really that was on board as far as following and adopting this whole food plant-based lifestyle. My wife was kind of, you know, just a little behind. It wasn't all that serious, you know, about following this type of lifestyle. Well, she had developed some health issues, okay? As we all do as we get older, you know, like they say, you can outrun your bad habits for a while, but sooner or later they're going to catch up to you, you know? And so once you realize it's the food that causes these health issues, you know, or diabetes, or, you know, or heart disease, or high blood pressure, or arthritis, you know, and then you begin to learn about, you know, how these foods can be our medicine, and they can actually prevent and reverse and even cure many of these diseases. You know, once you learn that, it's like, wow, this is the world's best kept secret that's been hid. And so my wife wanted to go on this, and I thought, wow, that would be good. I don't mind spending this kind of money. I had never been on a cruise, like I said, and here would be an opportunity for her to sit under some good, solid teaching about health. You know, they're out there in the world today, in the medical field and the industries, there's so many lies and misinformation and false information, and so, you know, it can become very confusing as far as, you know, what true health is, you know. And I often think about it, they call it a healthcare system today, but really it's not healthcare, it's sick care, you know. And so the doctors today are more interested in disease management, you know, but these whole food plant-based doctors that my wife was able to be under their teaching, that she really heard truth for the first time. You know, she was curious about even just what type of people these people were that were on these cruises. You know, we kind of do seem like an oddball type of people, you know, because we're not following the mainstream way of thinking. So it seems a bit strange at first when you listen and hear about this type of information. But remember, like I said, truth is always usually at the bottom. And so, you know, if you flip the whole thing on its head, and search hard and long for truth, and, you know, when it comes to nutrition, you can start to find some of these truths out about health. And so anyhow, it was an excellent cruise. I had always wanted to go on one of these big ships. I've always liked the idea of these big ships. And the one nice thing was that during most of the days they had, you know, for instance, we had Chef AJ was someone that we got to meet on the cruise, and then there's Dr. Caldwell Essestein, Dr. Michael McGregor, and Colin T. Campbell, and Dr. Neil Bernard. And so we got to meet these doctors, and most days you could have your choice as far as which ones you wanted to go listen to, and their different topics of nutrition they would cover. You know, some days in the afternoon, you would just you could go on different excursions, snorkeling, or visit different islands. We enjoyed the snorkeling. I've always enjoyed water. But during the days when they were out at sea, basically the whole day was devoted for teaching and studying about nutrition. And then you got to sit at the same table with these people. You know, a lot of these people were experiencing, you know, other health problems as we were, and my wife was. We got to ask some of these doctors some of our questions, or my wife, especially concerning her health issues. We were able to talk to Dr. Michael McGregor. I always say McGregor, but it's Dr. Gregor. So we got to talk to some of these doctors personally, you know, and they're very friendly, very personable people. You know, it's just amazing that they really help us out as far as learning about these truths. And so the food, of course, was good. You know, they had a lot of the vegan type plant-based meals that you could go to, and the big buffets, or you could have sit-down dinners at nighttime with like-minded people, and you know, you get to meet a lot of nice new people. In fact, I met someone that was on Facebook that we kind of knew from McDougal Friends, and so that was a real blessing. And then we got to go on shore, you know, the different areas. But the holistic holiday at sea, it's on the beautiful new MSC Divina, and this year it's from February 27th to March 5th. Now let me just scroll down here. I'm looking on my laptop. My wife and I, we chose the inside cabin, and when we went on the cruise, because again, I don't want to spend my money. We don't have a lot of money to spend, first of all, so we at least tried to pick what was cheapest. So, for instance, the inside cabin, no window, rates per person was $1,499. If you got 3 people or 4 people, the rates go down at $1,399. If you were to get an ocean view deck 5 with a window, that's $1,699. And down the list, ocean view deck 8 with the window, $1,799. And so you could view this information online if you put in Google holistic holiday at sea. And so I have to say it was an excellent trip or cruise. You know, they had these big long decks outside where you could take nice long walks outside. They had, of course, had a nice gym there where you could you know, work on your cardio or your weights. A lot of nice nooks and crannies where you could read a book, or you know, and they also had a lot of books available that you could buy on health and nutrition. And so all in all, it was an excellent trip. I would encourage, you know, anybody that's really interested, love cruising or being out in the ocean, and also enjoy listening to some good solid truth about health. You know, I would encourage you to go on this cruise and at least try it. You know, but for me, the money was well worth it. My wife's health issues are now gone, and so that, of course, is very emotional for me. And so it is with most people that have adopted this lifestyle. Their health issues are resolved, and no more pain and suffering. And so it's a very good cruise. Again, and the doctors are very compassionate people, because they want to help people get well. They just don't want to, and they want to fix the problem. You know, just not manage your chronic disease where that's where all the money's made, is on treating the symptom and not the cause. And so, anyhow, I hope this has been helpful for you. Maybe it might encourage you to think about going on these cruises, because you know, our body will heal itself if we give it time. You know, if we stop putting the poisons in our body and feed it the right fuel. You know, with green and yellow vegetables and your rice and potatoes. You know, you want your plate to be 70% starches and the rest green and yellow vegetables and some fruits. And so, you know, you'll see some amazing results in your health if you start taking those steps in the right direction. You know, speaking of ships, I sometimes think of this illustration. You know, some people, you know, if they're right on the, you know, if they have some real health issues and health problems, you know, which develop over time, You know, I had a friend, his name was Charlie Crabb. I had been coaching him on his health for a couple of years. Well, he had some serious heart issues, and he was going to go in and get some angioplasty and kind of like rotoring out your veins. And so he was going to go get that done, and he asked the doctors, where's all that go, you know, once they clean all that out. Well, they didn't really have a good answer for him, but you know, a lot of times people die on the operating table right there. So anyhow, Charlie Crabb, he had decided to adopt this whole food, plant-based lifestyle. And so it's been like over 2 years for him now, and it's just amazing. He's like the Energizer Bunny Rabbit. All his heart issues went away, and so on. And so, but some people are like the Titanic, you know, you tell them about this information, they're kind of slow about thinking about it, you know, so it takes a while for the Titanic to turn, you know. Some people are like that, but at least they make the step in the right direction. And once you start experiencing this type of lifestyle, your taste buds reset, you know, and you begin really enjoying these foods. And, you know, for me, being away from the meat and the dairy for a couple of years, it's like even just the smell of meats and the, you know, cheese now reminds me of my old work socks and my work boot. Just the smell of it kind of makes me nauseous. So, but anyhow, that's been some of my own personal experiences. But anyhow, I just want to thank you for joining me. And yeah, I would encourage you to think about going on the Holistic Holiday at Sea. It is a wonderful cruise. So anyhow, I just hope you have a wonderful day. Until next time, this is Plant Smart Living with Farmer Fred.